Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going into a really chilling ghost story.
Yeah, this one apparently got under the skin of a very experienced supernatural investigator.
Exactly. And we're skipping the vague stuff, going straight to a documented encounter. If you're here for those aha moments, well, buckle up.
We're pulling this from the Ghost Finder, specifically about this investigator, Carnacki.
Right.
And
Correct.
his time at Gannington Manor. The Grey Room, to be exact. It had this reputation.
Nasty one, by the sounds of it.
Definitely. So our mission today is to walk through his first night there, trying to figure out if this room is genuinely haunted or what.
Okay, so Carnacki shows up, Gannington Manor, and he's got one job, basically.
Spend the night in the Grey Room.
But he's not just, wandering in. He's careful, methodical,
Very. He starts laying down ribbons across the floor.
like tripwires.
Sort of, yeah. Secured with wax seals. It's like a low-tech alarm system, basically, to see if anything physically enters or moves.
And he seals the doors, too.
Oh, yeah. Setting up a controlled space, he wants to know if it's just creaks and groans or something else.
It shows he's thinking scientifically almost about something potentially
Yeah,
not scientific at all.
exactly. And then you've got Peter.
The butler. Right. And he is not happy about this whole plan.
Not at all. He's clearly terrified. Gives Carnacki these warnings like, "You don't understand, sir."
Even apologizes for being scared, but you can tell he genuinely thinks Carnacki's in danger.
Yeah, that fear from Peter, it really contrasts with Carnacki's, professional calm. It sets the scene, This dread is already there.
Raises the stakes before anything even happens.
Clearly.
So the clock hits 11,
And the mood changes. You can feel the tension ramp up.
then bang, one of the candles on the table just goes out.
Snuffed out. No draft mention, nothing obvious.
Peter completely loses it then, doesn't he?
Pretty much. Begs Carnacki to leave. Convinced it's starting, that this is the sign.
It's a classic ghost story element, the candle extinguishing.
It is. But here, it's a direct thing Carnacki experiences. How does he process that? Is it just random? Or is it something else?
Well, Carnacki actually admits later that his first thought was to bolt.
Really? Even him?
Yeah. But then his pride, his professional thing kicks in. He just told Peter to be brave.
Ah, right. Can't really run out the door after that, can you? Especially with the butler watching.
So he kind of has to stick it out. Human element right there. Reputation matters.
It definitely influences what he does next.
Which is, he doubles down, lights the candles on the mantelpiece,
Okay. More light.
and then blows out all the other lights,
Yeah.
plunges the room into near darkness.
Is that strategic? Trying to see phenomena better in the dark, or just showing off, maybe? Like, I'm not scared.
Could be either, I guess.
Meanwhile, Peter's outside the door getting more and more frantic.
What's he saying?
Just pleading.
Yeah.
Sir, do be told. Do be told.
Yeah.
Really desperate stuff.
You can imagine the scene. Carnacki inside, trying to be brave. Peter outside, terrified. And just before Carnacki does decide to leave the room for a bit, he feels something.
What?
A sudden chill. A cold wind. He says it was almost as if the window had been suddenly opened a little.
But it wasn't.
No. He even admits he starts walking faster towards the door. Then thundering long strides, he calls it, clearly rattled.
That sudden cold, another classic sign. For a rational guy like Carnacki, these things must be unsettling. Hard to explain away.
So he gets to the door, basically shoves the mantelpiece candles at Peter, take these, and slams the door shut.
Right. Getting out of there for a moment.
But as the door closes,
Get-
get this, he feels something pull back on it, just for a second.
Whoa. Like resistance.
Yeah. He says he dismissed it as imagination, but it's
Yeah.
a weird detail, isn't it? It sticks with you.
It suggests his subconscious maybe picked up on something his logical mind couldn't or wouldn't accept.
Could be. So he doesn't just shut the door, he locks it, turns the key.
Standard procedure, maybe.
Then he double locks it.
Okay. Getting more serious.
And then he seals the keyhole with wax. Puts his calling card over the wax, seals that, pockets the key.
Wow. That's thorough. He's really trying to contain whatever's in there now. Or prove nothing can get out.
Seems like he's shifted from observer to someone feeling genuinely threatened, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Those aren't the actions of someone just casually investigating. He's spooked. He goes downstairs with Peter, who's probably shaking like a leaf.
But the night isn't over. Not by a long shot. Around midnight, he decides to try and get some rest.
Where does he go? Back near the Grey Room.
No way. He picks a room at the opposite end of the corridor, like 5 doors away. maximum distance.
Smart move. Putting some space between him and it.
But he doesn't just lock his own door.
Oh no. What else?
He seals the doors of all 5 rooms between his room and the gray room.
Seriously? Like with wax again?
Yeah, it's like he's setting up tripwires down the whole hallway, creating this massive buffer zone.
That speaks volumes about how scared he actually is. He wants warning if anything comes down that corridor.
Then it happens. He's asleep or drifting off and is jolted awake.
By what?
A huge crash out in the passage. Deafening.
Oh man.
He sits bolt upright, listens. At first, just ringing in his ears. Silence. He lights his candle.
That silence after a loud noise is always the worst, isn't it? Just waiting.
Exactly. And the wait isn't long, because then comes the bang of a door being violently slammed along the corridor.
The gray room door.
Must be. He jumps out of bed, grabs his revolver. He's a ghost hunter. He's prepared, right?
You'd think so.
He unlocks his own door, steps out, candle in one hand, gun in the other, and he just stops, freezes.
Freezes. Why? He's dealt with weird stuff before.
He says.
Okay.
He says he funked it, simply funked it, just like any blessed kid.
Wow. He admits it.
Flat out. Describes the atmosphere in the corridor as precious unholy. Says it just rooted into the spot. Pure, primal fear beyond just being startled.
So he doesn't go towards the noise.
Nope. He retreats. Slams his own door shut, locks it tight, hides in his room.
And the noise?
All night long, apparently, he hears this dismal thudding of a door up the corridor.
Yeah.
Just banging over and over.
Keys. Like psychological torture. A constant reminder that something is active out there in that room.
Dawn finally comes. He feels braver with the light, naturally, but also ashamed.
Ashamed of being scared.
Yeah. He's wrestling with it. Was he just a coward? Or was that overwhelming fear actually like a warning? His instincts telling him to stay away from something truly dangerous?
That's a heavy question. Try and make sense of pure terror after the fact.
Peter shows up with coffee. He's massively relieved. Carnacki is okay.
Did Peter hear the door banging all night too?
Oh, yeah. He says he was awake the whole time listening to it. So it wasn't just in Carnacki's head. They both experienced it in a way.
That shared experience makes it much harder to dismiss. It confirms something was happening.
So, time to investigate. They head back towards the gray room. Cautiously, I imagine.
And the seals on those intervening doors. The buffer zone.
All intact. Untouched. Whatever was banging the door didn't come down the hall, apparently.
Okay. But the gray room door itself?
The seal is broken.
So something did get in or out.
But wait. The calling card over the keyhole. Still there, perfectly sealed, untouched.
How is that possible? Seal broken, but the lock area undisturbed.
Exactly. It's like a locked room mystery, but supernatural. Suggests whatever happened, didn't use the lock, didn't use the keyhole, it bypassed it somehow.
Bizarre. So they go inside.
They do. And at first, everything looks normal, tidy.
Nothing obvious.
Until Peter points to the bed.
What about it?
The bedclothes. They've been ripped off and thrown violently into the left-hand corner of the bed frames.
Piled up in the corner.
Yeah. Carnacki says he was shocked, and he felt this weird reluctance. Didn't even want to touch them.
Like they were contaminated somehow.
Maybe. It's clear evidence something happened in there, something forceful.
So Carnacki starts searching the room properly.
For a full hour. Walls, floor, ceiling, tapping, checking. The works.
Finds nothing. No secret panels, no drafts.
Nothing. Zero. And that's when it hits him, he says. The realization that some incredible thing had been loose in the room. It wasn't explainable by normal means.
The lack of a physical explanation forces him towards the unthinkable.
So he decides to watch. Sets up a vigil.
Back in the gray room. Or nearby.
Seems like nearby. Maybe in the corridor again, keeping watch on the room. Hours go by. Silence.
Nah.
A tiny noise.
Taint.
Up the corridor, near the gray room end.
And he reacts.
Instantly. Scalp prickles. Hands get sweaty. He's on high alert.
And then?
A sudden flash of light. His own flashlight, somehow triggered, illuminates the end of the passage for a split second. Then darkness again.
His flashlight? How did he set it up?
It's unclear. Maybe rigged somehow. But the point is, it gives a fleeting glimpse. Then nothing. Just adds to the confusion.
And probably the fear.
Oh, yeah. Because right after that, the sound comes back.
The door.
The crashing thud of the gray room door. Slamming again. Echoing through the house.
Ugh. Not again.
Carnacki describes his fear then as feeling like his bones were water. Utter terror.
I can believe it.
The thudding goes on for a bit then. Silence again. But this silence feels different. Worse.
How so?
He feels like something is approaching, coming towards him down the dark corridor.
Oh, that's terrifying. The unseen approach.
And then, poof, the lamp he's using for his vigil just goes out, plunged into total darkness.
No.
He panics, scrambles back to his room, slams the door, locks it. Pure flight mode again.
And is that it for the night?
Not quite. As he's standing there, heart pounding, behind his locked door, he feels it.
Feels what?
A soft pressure. Against the other side of his door, like something unseen is leaning against it.
Oh my God. That's intensely creepy. Right there, pressing against the door.
Yeah. Unseen, soft, waiting.
Okay, morning has to be better.
Morning comes. Peter brings coffee. Probably checks if Carnacki's still in one piece.
And back to the gray room they go. Third time's the charm.
Looks like it. Check the corridor doors first.
Seal's intact.
All 5. Still untouched.
And the gray room door.
Seal broken. Again. Like clockwork.
And the part over the keyhole.
Still there.
Yeah.
Undisturbed. Defying explanation.
This is maddening. What about inside? The flashlight.
The string on his flashlight, the one that went off. It's broken now.
So something did interact with it, tampered with it.
Seems like it.
And the bedclothes.
Let me guess.
Left corner.
Torn off and hurled into the exact same left-hand corner again.
But were there any seals inside the room this time? Like on the windows or anything?
Yes, he mentions seals within the room were unbroken, which makes the bedclothes thing even weirder. How did they get thrown if nothing physical crossed the seals inside?
It's like something just materialized inside, did its thing, and dematerialized. It makes no logical sense.
Not at all. And then things get even stranger. Inside the gray room itself,
What happens now?
this wind kicks up. An unnatural wind swirling inside the sealed room. Candles start flickering like crazy.
A wind inside a closed room.
Yeah. And then horror strikes. He finds himself trapped.
Trapped.
The door slams shut, locks itself from the outside. He's sealed in. And at the same moment, all the candles he'd set up around his outer protective barrier, they all extinguish simultaneously.
No. So he's locked in the gray room.
In the dark. Except for the faint blue light of his electric pentacle. That's still glowing.
The electric pentacle? What's that?
Some kind of protective device he uses. Creates a barrier of sorts. It's his last line of defense, basically.
Okay, so he's trapped inside, in the near dark, with only this blue glowing circle for protection.
Pretty much. And he feels this abominable tenseness in the air. Then he senses something.
Senses, not sees or hears.
No, he describes it as an inward, unused sense. A feeling of stirring from the left corner of the bed, where the clothes kept ending up.
Oh, creepy.
And he sees a shadow start to form there. Just a patch of deeper darkness in the gloom. It's growing.
A shadow taking shape.
Yeah. And then his attention is drawn back to the bed itself.
Why? What's happening there?
The covers. The ones that were back on the bed, presumably, who start to move. They're being drawn off. Slowly. Stealthily. He calls it a hateful, stealthy motion. A slow, dragging slither.
Can he see what's pulling them?
No. Absolutely nothing visible. Just the covers moving on their own.
That's horrifying, just watching that happen.
He says he felt this weird detachment, observing his own fear. Cold sweat, hand moving towards his gun, almost automatically.
A coping mechanism, maybe? Observing instead of just feeling the terror.
Could be. The dragging stops for a moment. Silence. So intense he can hear his own blood pounding.
The quiet before the storm.
And it starts again. More violently this time. Dragging faster.
Is he just frozen? Or does he try to do anything?
Some part of him, the investigator part, kicks in. He remembers his camera, reaches for it, eyes still glued to the bed.
Try and get proof even now. Incredible focus.
And then, whoosh, with extraordinary violence, the rest of the covers are ripped completely off the bed.
Just torn off.
Yeah, and hurled across the room.
Yeah.
They land with a heavy flump right back in that same left-hand corner.
The sheer force of it. But still nothing seen.
Nothing. Just the aftermath. The covers lying in a heap.
What happens next? Is that the main attack over?
There's a pause. An odd, noticeable quietness. He'd been using his flashlight, and now he's half blinded by the afterimage.
So the room seems even darker outside the pentacle's glow.
Yeah, like pitch black. And he gets this overwhelming fear that something is in that darkness, just beyond his sight, ready to come at him.
That fear of the unseen. Always potent.
As his eyes adjust, he sees it. Near the edge of his protective circle.
Sees what? The shadow.
The thing, he calls it. Big, indistinct, wavering like a vast spider shadow.
A spider shadow. Ugh.
It's probing towards his circle, toward them, but it pulls back, jerks back, like touching a hot stove.
So the pentacle, or maybe the water jars around it, they're actually working, holding it back.
Seems like it. He feels a wave of relief, realizing he's probably safe inside the circle. But he's utterly shaken. Horribly gone and shaken, he says.
I bet, seeing that.
The shadow thing vanishes. But now he thinks he understands. It's not just a presence. The gray room is haunted by a monstrous hand.
A hand. Just a hand. A giant, monstrous hand.
That's his conclusion. That's what he perceived it
I think
as.
that is specific. And horrifying.
Then he notices something about his setup. A detail.
What?
One of the jars of water that form part of the pentacle barrier. It's been moved slightly.
Oh, left. How?
He doesn't know, but it created a gap. One of the 5 doorways, he calls it, was left unguarded. And it was right where the hand had been probing, where the attack seemed focused.
So the hand could have potentially reached him or was trying to exploit a weakness.
Seems like it. He quickly shoves the jar back into place, feels a bit safer, again, momentarily.
Momentarily.
Because then the doubt creeps in. Seeing the power of that thing, he starts to wonder if his barriers are really enough. Can they hold all night against that?
A terrifying thought. What if the defenses fail?
And then, carelessness.
Okay.
Maybe exhaustion. He accidentally touches the electric pentacle itself.
Touches it. What happened?
The hand, which must have been close again, is instantly hurled back. Violently. It had somehow gotten past the outer water jars again, for a second time. He feels pure terror.
So touching the pentacle triggered a defensive pulse, but it also shows the hand got that close again.
Exactly. And it gets worse. He starts feeling paranoid.
How so?
Like, is he being influenced? Is something making him clumsy, making him endanger himself without realizing it?
Oh, that's a nasty thought. Psychological attack.
Because right then, he stretches, maybe just trying to shake off the feeling, and he knocks over another jar of water, spills it.
No, creates another gap.
Yeah, and even as he's scrambling to right the jar, refill it maybe,
It comes.
the vast, black, half-materialized hand lunges out of the shadows, right at his face.
Did it get him?
No. For the third time, it's thrown back by this enormous overmastering force, the pentacle doing its job, presumably, even with the temporary gap.
3 times it got that close.
But the sheer proximity of it, this abhuman thing, it leaves him feeling this deep spiritual sickness, like being too close to something fundamentally wrong.
I can only imagine. A profound violation.
A change. The first hint of dawn light starts to touch the horizon outside.
Does it react to the dawn?
Instantly. The unnatural wind in the room just stops. Dies away completely.
And
Gone. Vanish again.
so daylight saved him.
It seems the dawn disrupted it. But Carnacki isn't taking any chances. He stays inside that protective circle until it's full daylight. Bright sunshine flooding the room, wary of a trick.
Smart man. Don't get cocky at the finish line.
He finally passes out from exhaustion, wakes up around midday. First thing he does, goes back to the gray room.
Of course he does. What now?
Switches off the electric pentacle. Removes the body of a cat.
A cat? Where did that come from? He didn't mention a cat before.
No, it slipped in here. Maybe he placed it there earlier
Yeah.
as a detector, a
Yeah.
sacrifice. It's unclear. But he removes it.
Odd detail. Okay, cat removed. Then what?
He goes straight to that left-hand corner, where the bedclothes kept ending up. Searches it meticulously. Under the skirting board,
And he finds something.
he finds something. A ring.
A ring. Like jewelry.
Yeah. Made of this weird graying metal,
Mm-hmm.
shaped like a pentagon, a 5-sided shape. But, crucially, it's missing the mounts.
Missing the mounts. What does that mean?
Like the points of a proper pentagram, a protective star shape. This is just the outline, the 5 sides, without the projecting points that complete the symbol.
Okay. So an incomplete pentagon ring. Is it important?
Carnacki recognizes it immediately, or connects it. It's the legendary luck ring of the Anderson family, the family who owns the manor.
The luck ring. Sounds positive, but given the context.
Not so lucky, it seems. It's tied to the whole history of the Grey Room haunting. Passed down the male line, but with a strict rule, never wear it.
Why not? Where did it come from?
Legend says a Crusader ancestor brought it back. But the why not wear it part, that comes from Sir Hulbert Anderson.
What did he do?
Got drunk, made a bet, defied the family rule, and put the ring on.
Oh, no.
That night, his wife and child were strangled in the Grey Room. The next night, Sir Hulbert himself was found strangled in the Grey Room.
Jeez. All because he wore the ring.
That's the story. The room was sealed up after that. The ring just became this half-forgotten legend. until Carnacki finds it.
So Carnacki thinks this ring, this is the source.
That's his theory. He calls it a doorway, a gap in the world hedge, is his phrase, like a weak spot between worlds.
And the shape is important, the incomplete pentagon.
Massively. He connects it to some old manuscript, the Sigsan MS script, which talks about the pentagon shape needing the mounts, the 5 hills of safety, to be truly protective. Without them, it's vulnerable, a potential opening.
And the wind he felt.
He realized it always came from that corner, where the ring was hidden. It all clicks into place for him.
So what does he do now? He has the ring, he has a theory.
He decides to test it. But first, he dismantles the pentacle he used.
Why? It worked, didn't it?
There's this occult idea, apparently, that materials used in a defense that was breached, even temporarily, can't be trusted again. They might be tainted. So he leaves the house entirely.
To get fresh supplies.
Exactly. New candles, new chalk, whatever he needs for a fresh barrier. He comes back, tells Peter to take the night off. He's going back in. Alone.
Oh boy. This sounds like the climax.
He goes back into the gray room, quickly sets up a brand new pentacle, a new barrier. But this time,
What?
he puts the ring inside the circle with him.
Inside, with the thing that's potentially the source of the monster. Is that wise?
It's a test, a direct confrontation. Him, the ring, the barrier, see what happens.
Okay, my nerves are shot just hearing this.
He's barely finished setting up when he gets this jolt of pure fear. Instinct takes over.
What does he do?
He tries to throw the ring out of the pentacle. Get rid of it.
Does it work?
No. He says it's like the ring is alive. It dodges his hand. He finally grabs it.
Yes.
And it's ripped out of his grasp.
Yeah.
By this incredible invisible force.
The hand.
Must be. Because then this huge black shadow just swallows the spot where the ring landed, and it rises up.
The hand again.
But clearer this time. Vast and nearly perfect in form, he says, and it's coming right for him, inside the circle.
No, but the barrier.
He doesn't wait to find out. He yells, leaps backwards out of the pentacle, over the chalk lines, the water, everything. Scrambles towards the door.
Abandoning the protection.
Pure panic. He's fumbling with the key, trying to unlock the door to escape. But he's staring back, terrified, at the pentacle he just left.
And the hand. What's it doing?
It lunges for him, plunges towards the edge of the pentacle, and stops.
Stops. Why?
He can't pass out of the pentacle, because the ring is now inside it. The source is contained. The monster is effectively chained within the barrier.
Whoa. So his theory was right. The ring is the anchor. And putting it inside the pentacle trapped the hand there.
Exactly. Even in his terror, he has this flash of understandings trapped in there.
Can he get the door open?
He manages it, turns the key, yanks the door open, flees into the corridor, slams it shut, locks it. And he just crumbles his way back to his own room.
He escaped. It's trapped. Wow.
He collapses, sleeps from exhaustion. Peter wakes him with coffee again. Routine by now.
So, back to the gray room one last time. To check.
One last time. Cautiously, they open the door. The candles of the pentacle are still glowing faintly. The electric pentacle too. And right in the middle, there's the ring. Lying there, looking completely innocent.
And the hand.
Gone. But nothing else in the room is disturbed. Nothing outside the pentacle line was touched. Confirmation. The hand never got out.
It really was chained by the ring being inside the barrier. Incredible.
So Carnacki knows what he has to do.
What? Keep the ring trapped forever.
No. Destroy it. He leaves the manor again, comes back with, well, not ghost hunting gear,
What then?
an oxyhydrogen cutting torch and gas cylinders. Serious hardware.
He's gonna melt it.
He sets up a small furnace right there, places the luck ring in the center of the still active electric pentacle for safety, and hits it with the torch. Reduces it to molten metal.
Destroys the doorway.
Completely.
Does he show anyone?
Later, he shows the result. Just a small, dull circle of grayish metal. Nothing special to look at anymore.
And the haunting. Did it stop?
Immediately, he confirms it. To prove it, he slept 3 more nights in the gray room.
Anything.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Perfectly quiet. The presence was gone.
Wow. What about Peter? Did he believe it was over?
Carnacki says Peter remained, perpetually uneasy. Can't blame him, really, after all that.
No kidding. Some things you don't forget.
So Carnacki packs up, leaves Gannington Manor, and leaves us with his incredible story.
Terrifying night. The relentless hand discovering that cursed ring and finally destroying it. Quite the investigation.
And for you listening, maybe that was the aha moment, right?
Yeah.
The haunting wasn't just some random spook. It was tied to a specific object, a tangible thing with a dark past.
Yeah, it takes it beyond just vibes and feelings. There was a source. And the way the suspense built, The unseen attacks, the desperate measures. It's incredibly gripping.
And hopefully we dove deep enough to get the core of it without drowning you in every single detail of the original, longer account.
It definitely makes you think, though.
That's the final thought, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What other ordinary-looking things might be out there, holding some kind of connection we don't understand?
Could everyday objects, everyday places have these hidden dangers just waiting for something to trigger them? A vulnerability, a catalyst.
A simple ring causing all that terror. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What else is lurking, unseen, just out of sight?